Hi, everybody. This is Glenn McKnight. I'm a volunteer with the DC Coalition of Schools of Internet Governance. And we have an interview slated right now for Liljana. So tell us about your school, your achievements, and what have you been able to do? And go ahead.
Yes, thank you for taking the time for this interview. Actually, I wanted to share my experience about developing a youth program. And introducing, it's not a school, it's a youth empowerment program, but within I have developed a couple of modules for internet governance. Olga Cavalli is actually the main point of motivation, where I've met her in Berlin IGF. And she told me all about it, what she did in all of her, let's say, experience years within the school. So I've thought about it to develop it within my NGO as a youth program and to invite youngsters from 15 to 20 years of age and to speak about digital issues or internet governance issues, about data protection, to which I'm, let's say, I have a professional background, to freedom of speech, media literacy, fake news, and etc. And it was all during the pandemic. So from September 2020, we actually developed it as an action plan for each Saturday evening for 1.5 hours through Zoom platform to speak with youngsters and to present them different topics. So mostly from our experience, it was all online, and it was all about speaking different and inviting actually experts from different organizations and institutions on a national level, so on a local level mainly, to discuss these issues and these challenges. And one of the topics was actually presenting as well CIDIC as an initiative, and presenting also ICANN and IGF possibilities for youth to learn more. At this period, I was also involved in Alfredo and Glenn's Virtual School of Internet Governance, module B or C, I can't remember because I haven't finished it within my obligations, as unfortunately, but also gave me a sense of the types of the modules. It gave me a sense of the content, which actually I had to lower down because it was a huge content already established for working experts. So it should be delivered on a level of youngsters and on this age to be understandable, comprehensible enough, and also to discuss it with them as potential, let's say, leaders in these actions. So,
sorry, Leon, what's the name of your school, and was the training in English or what other languages?
It was only done on Macedonian. So the name of the school was Youth Program Development, and it is within the NGO. So it's not a school as a school, let's say. But then again, all of these experiences from development of this youth program, it is called the Youth Program Development, because I wanted to research what are the capabilities, the competencies of our expertise on a national level, but also possibilities to invite foreign experts to introduce them into the program. So mainly this expertise that you already had there and our networking within the Virtual School of Internet Governance on these modules, I've kind of gained an idea how to develop it furthermore during this summer as a school from September. So I want to actually open it up from this September, this year, to create a specific school for internet governance for the youngsters, for the youth. And since we have now, let's say, lessons learned from our online teaching, let's say, then we are capable enough to already proceed with this. I've already started to discuss it, whether should we need some accreditation to have it as a school. or maybe we could just call it a school, because within our national system, actually, if you call something a school, then you need certain type of accreditation from the Ministry of Education and Science in order to proceed with this kind of things. But then again, I think that within the NGO, I can leave it up as an open format for school and not going to registry as a separate, let's say, certified or standardized for as it requested by the institution itself. I'm going to use the let's say content, everything you developed within the and this platform. I've requested to you to share it, but I have found it everything. And I've also used the YouTube open resource channels that you were providing to us as a tool, as educational short lessons about development and internet history, which was very useful to us as trainers and lecturers, because we do not have enough resources and materials on on native language, which are concerned for IGF matters. I'm also a CIDIC executive board member, and I will also use the experience of youth school within the CIDIC platform, which is the call for application is opened just now until 19th of June. And we will use their young professionals as a target group, but also we will use ISOC and ICANN online courses, for which we have support to use them in order to develop some content for the youth school preparation. So I'm kind of, let's say, mitigating the risk, but also trying to be very adaptive into what our here learning environment is already ongoing, because for one, there is no material on it. I can repeat this. There are no, let's say, specific trainers on IGF matters. There are no any manuals actually developed our not only Macedonian language, but broadly in the Western Balkans. I speak regionally these languages here. And as you see, I'm using the already developed languages on English, so I can be somehow backed up with material. From September, I will be very, let's say, honored if I could use some of the pool of experts you already have within the list, the mailing list. That's why I joined actually the mailing list. And first of all, I would invite as much as possible guest speakers on different matters in order to enrich the program that we are going to develop for the school. One good point is that the youngsters, they've already came up with a project idea, which is one, let's say, successful output of this program, because it's not only discussing the challenges and motivating them to research furthermore, but what the NGO, my organization, it is at the background, has already gained a very, let's say, young, motivated people to be successfully trained about digitalization challenges and different human rights aspects within the digital world. And therefore, we already get equipped with personnel that could be, we will be working together with them, or with some of them at least. This is a great opportunity as I see these schools, but I would love to keep the range of youngsters from 15 until 20, let's say. So not so many young professionals, but basically which are only at the educational level, secondary, and probably the first year freshmen on a faculty, because this is the challenge or the target group that I would like to teach, and I would love to share experiences with them. I think that the target group is covered not only with young professionals above 20, but lower, because teenagers are already, they know too much already from internet site and from internet challenges. so we can speak freely with them. Maybe it was not the point with us as a generation previously, but nowadays the digitalization is very much in deep and in let's say the age is not a problem with understanding different platforms and different online tools. Questions?
Wow, I'm pretty impressed. You've told me a lot already, and my brain is working on what to ask you next. Did any of your students or yourself apply for any of the ICANN fellowships or possibly the ISOG fellowship or any of those, or have you guys considered the European School of Internet Governance run by Wolfgang? It's a pretty extensive program, but it's in your backyard. It's in Meissen.
Yes, I have applied for European School, which is in Germany, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and Sandra contacted me 1 month or 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I cannot remember, but I don't remember I received some kind of confirmation of actually getting to this course. And as I said, my first contact was with Eurodic in Tallinn in Estonia.
Right.
And then I was working then with the Data Protection Agency, and I was impressed by Eurodic and by all of the partners there, but they are working together. So as I smoothly transitioned to the civil society sector, I've Googled around and yes, participated IGF Berlin, which was the step forward about developing this school. I was, yes, as I said, I had a chit chat with Olga Cavalli at that point in Berlin. So she was the great motivator about this. I think that she had a panel also on some education schools, I think. She was there, so that is how we were trying to develop something here. It took me a year to think about how I want to develop it, because as I said, it would be a lot difficult to make it as a school officially, because yeah, we need some accreditation. But then again, I would love to keep it within the NGO, because then I could, develop it more freely the way we are learning as a process. And I would love to have it as a learning process as well, because from each and every step we are learning as teachers as well. So we are me and my colleague, we developed some action plan for different kind of topics that we're going to discuss about, invite some representatives from institutions and organizations, and then here and there discuss it about IGF, ICANN, the fellowship program, the possibility of the youth to interconnect, to participate. As I said, these are youngsters at the secondary age, because I wanted to test how this program is going to be developed. I'm sure that for the next phase, when this school is established from September as a school, let's say, with prepared manuals, prepared materials, to be more professional way, I'm sure that the next stage would be to come up for young professionals above 20 and maybe above 25. Why not? Because then I would gather a different target group, which is already here and there within the ecosystem of different institutions and organizations, and that we could bring forward different aspects of discussion. For the time being, on a national level in Macedonia, there is no such thing, there is no such, let's say, NGO or institutional base that is covering these types of topics. That is why we are, let's say, paving the way, and that is why I'm calling it youth program development, because we were developing this program in this, it was pandemic, yes, but then again, it was interesting enough for the students, for the even for the secondary education students, because we were discussing different types of topics which are out of their educational cycle. So I've also researched and made some analysis about the curricula, which is in the primary and the secondary education. And I've realized that in different segments, in different type of secondary education, there is no such thing of explaining or discussing or introducing the new digital agenda topics. So I think that we are very much paving the way of discussing with youngsters these topics, and we are opening up new aspects of how, for example, artificial intelligence could breach the law, breach the human rights in one segment. So I don't also, I've discussed with several teachers which are in the secondary education. They are not even trained. So there is no cycle of training for teachers to be prepared as a personnel to discuss with secondary education students about these issues. Right. And that is a huge problem. So it should be also school for teachers, not for youngsters. Why? Because as they said, we are very frustrated because now youngsters know much more better from us because they're new generation, right? So they're knowing everything about the platforms. They know everything about what type of phone we are using, what type of social networking, blah, blah, blah. And now the teachers, which are, I don't know, some of them maybe 5 years or 3 years before a retirement process, now they will need to learn about what is internet, right?
Well, that could be something you could consider for a summer school for enhancement of teachers, so that you can actually do a dedicated course for teachers in the summer.
Yes, actually good idea. And the summer is a period when they are free.
Yeah.
And they could be some, the main point is they want to be certified with this.
Right.
And yeah, you gave me a super idea. The summer for the teachers and
Yeah. Cool. So the second thing is, does your government, the Macedonian government, have any strategy like Estonia with an e-government strategy? So is this something that the government is actually supporting what you guys are doing?
Yes, the government is actually copy-pasting something that is already ongoing from Estonia and e-government especially, and it is involved in the open government OGP processes, open government processes.
Right.
So yes, the digitalization is very slowly ongoing due to the low capacity of the administrative workers within the administration to know about digital skills. I'm also engaged as a trainer with another international organization to deliver some trainings for public administration. You wouldn't believe what I will say, and this is recorded, please don't share it with outside of our mailing list. The digital skills are very low, and when I've asked them to fill a questionnaire through a Google Doc, actually, they've asked, where's the document? So, I send them the link to fill it out as a link on a Google Doc questionnaire. And they were keep asking me, where's the document I need to fill out?
What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's, and when I introduced Doodle, for scheduling meetings, they were like, oh my God. And at one training, I delivered the training and I used Mentimeter as a tool, just for fun. They were impressed.
Wow. Hey, so let's talk about other challenges financially. Is the European Union supporting you guys, or is not-for-profit, like Google or Facebook or any of those big tech, are they stepping up and supporting what you're doing?
For this program, no. So it was just a testing period for us, whether we can do it, what would be the challenges, how the youths are responding to the topics and to the ongoing, let's say, challenges. We have other projects which are NGO related and which are in totally different area. For example, anti-corruption. What we did is actually we used online mapping, and we mapped all the billboards that are in the country, the location and the content of the billboards, which are used for political advertising. Oh. And yeah, we Googled, we mapped them like an online map. So you can, with a pin, you know, the location and the content with photo images with GPS, of course, location. And it was supported by IFES, International Foundation for Electoral Systems, because it was a very new and innovative, let's say, activity for us and for the region. But we wanted to use some digital tools in each and every project. So that is our mission, to use digitalization in each and every sector. So the youth at the end of this, let's say, program development, used our example from this online mapping. So they've come up with an idea to use digital tools within the protection of living environment. And we are now mapping the trash cans and the containers for trash to see whether there are enough, for example, in one local area. And then we are requesting the city mayor to buy more if they're not enough for this.
Wow. Wow. Hey, what about the disabled or handicapped community or older adults? Is that something of interest for you as well?
We haven't thought about it. As I said, the older people, they are covered for, let's say, I know one organization that I worked with, that is also they're mostly dealing with ISO standards and data protection issues within ISO standards. They dealt with education for elderly within the retirement homes. I don't know how to translate that, but
that's right.
Yes. That was done and supported by USAID program for them. I know this winter, but I didn't check on them. I didn't actually shared experience how it went for this. I mean, why not? As I said, it is a long-term process. We are learning as well, so that is why it's a developmental strategy for the school, but with different targets. At the moment, we have the capacity to learn and to train youngsters, but then again, why not teachers? And at the end, why not inviting parents? Because at one point, these three groups, parents, teachers, and students, are the cycle that is connected within the educational system. Yeah, I don't know about handicaps. Why not? I've worked with one organization a couple of years ago. It was teaching people with handicaps how to use different, actually to use internet safely from their point of view. But that was a very general training. It was not very specific one, let's say. So I don't have much experience in this. Maybe I could invite or partnership with some organization that is already dealing with handicapped persons, because we need to merge those two experiences.
I remember doing a proposal years ago to promote free and open source software in Eastern, 16 countries in Eastern Africa. And I'm not based in Africa, but I've done a lot of work in South Africa. But it really, you find the right partners, and then that's what it takes. You never know. It could be Invent from Germany, SIDA from Sweden. It could possibly be the UK development funds. Again, the partnerships that you could possibly.
But I don't know which funds are actually available for us, because we are a candidate EU country. We're not EU country. Okay. So I'm not sure which funds for this type of activities would be available for us. So that would be a question for the mailing list. If there is some open call which is related to our region here, maybe it would be beneficial for me to have that information. For the time being, I think that I will need to develop training content as you have it already there. I could definitely and will use definitely these YouTube links that you posted already online from the Virtual School of Internet Governance. maybe something to take from there, something to create it on my own to be comprehensible for the target group that we are going to use from September. And I don't know whether we will have enough time to dedicate to have a separate summer school for teachers, but it is definitely a good idea to start with this target group to think of it, definitely, because I really think and saw there is a gap of knowledge here, not only skills of knowledge and awareness raising about IGF issues, because they are afraid of using different digital tools within the educational sector. I remember last year, they even, I was totally against it, and it was very publicly, I posted on Facebook a very angry post about it. They made a project. It was about to have one space in the classroom where the kids would leave their phones in order to be, disciplined in the class. I mean, for me, that is very, how to say, non-educational mechanism, because you're disciplining the mechanism for what you can use as a tool for education. Right. We all know the safeguard mechanisms. We all know that internet can be used for bad purposes, of course, but that is why we are learning. And the most critical point of this was the government is issuing, e-government actually is issuing, let's say, a procedure that we need to digitalize their services, the public services. And then in the educational sector, they are putting away the phones from the kids in a corner of the classroom. It was, it was a very bad, let's say, not propaganda, but very, very bad step into this process. And I was strongly against it, because I wanted to learn mainly, this is what I learned in Berlin, IGF, that actually we need to learn people, not only, students, but different target groups, how to use it as a tool for improvement of our, to have a quality of life, for example. To improve and to develop different sectoral approaches for introducing digital tools. So that is what I'm doing actually, either for political party advertising on billboards, either for, I don't know, protection of living environment, or any other sector that we're going to choose for the next period, to actually introduce the internet and digital tools that we can use from internet in order to improve our quality of life.
That's fantastic. I think you've got a huge mission in front of you, and it's great you're starting with that group, and we wish you the best of luck. And are you going to Poland, or are you going to do the virtual meeting at IGF in Poland?
Virtual, sorry.
Okay. Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see you in the DC coalition meeting that we're having. We're going to put a proposal in. Hopefully it'll be accepted. Reach out to Avery if you want to be part of that presentation. But the whole purpose of these calls is to have a more elaborate discussion with each person to find out what they're doing, what their achievements, what their challenges are. And I've learned a lot today, though. So this has been great.
Yes, on the level of challenges, as I said, maybe distribution of different links for different types of learning materials would be very useful for us, in order to prepare the curricula, in order to establish actually what we need for the school. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to let you go, and thanks for your time. Okay. And I'll send you the link. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.